Hello and welcome to Athena's Creations 2017. I'm Athena Turk, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2017. And I started a few minutes ago and I don't think I had the sound on, so I had to start it over. Apologies for that. Tonight I've got a couple of fun shaker cards for you and a 3D project with all the instructions and everything. So thank you so much for joining me, whether it's live on Facebook in our private group or later on YouTube. We're going to be doing our one of our shaker cards featuring the Pine Tree Trimmings bundle, and it's part of the online exclusives, and then another 3D project and shaker card featuring this suite of product, which is called the Delicate Pines. So this is that one where I did an unboxing and I was like, I don't know about this one, but it's growing on me. There's lots and lots of great projects that we can choose from. And I wanted to just show you how to make this easy shaker card. And of course, the 3D. And this is a nice gift box that you can give to coworkers or just neighbors, postal person. I mean, this box is big enough to hold your tissue, and if you're going to need tissue, you might need a little hand sanitizer. So this is just kind of give you an idea. It'll hold candy, of course, and all the sweet things, and this entire suite, and of course the arches dies. They're my absolute favorite. I've been using them on a lot of cards and 3D projects lately, so, and I still have lots of ideas with them that I haven't even had time to play with, but I'm going to share this one with you and all the instructions. And if you're in our private group, of course, I will upload all of that and all the still shots and everything like I always do. But thank you again so much for joining me this evening. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down so we can get started, because it's only a couple of projects or a couple of cards and one project, but the shaker card I haven't shown you yet. It's got about 8 or 9 steps, and it just dawned on me. I don't know if I brought that in here. I think I have it here. Anyway, I'm going to read them, and you'll be able to screenshot them and go through and be able to make these on your own using all of your stamp supplies. Hopefully you were able to take advantage of the sale last week. They had a 15% off stamp sale, which when you're a crafter and stamper, you know, you want to get some goodies, some stamps. 15% off is a great deal. Of course, you can always save 20 to 25% if you join my team. And there is a huge join special in October. I would be remiss if I didn't just tell you, if you have $35 and that's all you can spend, you can join my team in October and pick out 125 of your choice and only pay $35. That is a deal I haven't seen in ever that I can recall. They've had some wonderful bonus sign-on things before, but this one is really good. Picking out 125 and only paying $35. You get a free paper pumpkin kit, you get business supplies, you get to be on my team, you get to join us for our monthly meetings when we get together. We get together to stamp and we have fun and we share ideas, we do swaps. There's just so many fun things. So if that's something that you're interested in, please reach out. I'll be happy to get you more information. And it rolls out next Tuesday, October 1st, the entire month. So you have 31 days. So I wanted to tell you as soon as I had found out, because if you're like me, you've got a really nice sized wish list. And, you know, realistically, we're not going to get everything on our wish list, but you can pick out 125 and only pay $35. Now, they do have a second option. So if your wish list is a little bit bigger, they have another option, which is equally as good. And it is $189 in product of your choice, and you pay $99 plus tax. Shipping is always free on the starter kit, so it's a great deal all the way around. Even if you don't want to do anything other than get the product and enjoy it and enjoy a discount for a few months and go inactive, that's fine. You know, there's a lot of hobby demonstrators out there that do that. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out. But let's go ahead and get started. It'll take about 45 minutes to an hour, and I just want to make sure we have plenty of time to get our projects done. And the online exclusives, that's kind of a recent thing. And basically, if you go online and look through, you're going to see everything that is available, whether it's in a catalog or not. You're going to be able to see it, which I think is fantastic. Of course, it's always nice to have a printout or even a, catalog in your hand. But if you go online, you will not miss anything. Okay. This time change is coming up this next month, and the days are getting shorter. It's getting darker sooner, and you're going to have a lot of time to craft. So this is a really fun project. I saw several different ideas online with this one, and that was my take on it. This one, when you go online, you'll see all the samples. And so this was one of the samples, but it wasn't a shaker. It was just a card front. And it's part of the Delicate Pines, one of my favorites. Like I said, when I first got it, I wasn't real sure about it because, snowflakes are typically not, pine. But hey, this is a nice set. And of course, the pine tree trimmings, we've got our fun little shaker cards with that one. And I did print out before I realized my printer's ink was not up to par and I had to change it. But there's actually some new online exclusives coming out in November. My goodness. It's like every few months or so. There's tons of stuff. Now this is one I really want to get. It's on my wish list. I don't know if I'll be able to get it before it, before I can get around to some of these others. But there's lots of different things that you can do with the online exclusives. This one is an online exclusive. It's the Gathering Together. It's a fall, really pretty. Can't really see the colors, unfortunately. This one's the Modern Christmas Suite. That one's really neat. It's like black and gold, and it's got hoops. I've seen people using the hoops for all kinds of, what do you call it? 3D Christmas ornaments and stuff and things like that. This was the suite that caught my eye. So I got 2 suites in the catalog, and I got 1 suite from the online, and then a couple of bundles, right? Because I'm trying to realistically play with as much as I can, the few things that I purchase. Because, I do this for fun. I don't really do it to make money or a job or anything like that. This is my therapy, and it's my gift to myself. So I like to play with all the fun things and share it with you. And this was the suite that has the 10% off for the bundle. And it's got these beautiful, you can't see it on here, but look how gorgeous these stars are. Snowflakes. They look like stars to me. There's 210, and you can see they're just gorgeous. And of course, this beautiful, beautiful ribbon shaded spruce. And then, of course, the bundle and the Elegant Pine snowflakes, so the paper. So you could just put in one number and get the whole suite. It's like $91. And so that's the one we're going to be using on our 3D project and a shaker card. And there is some more. And, of course, you can see there's different bundles. Really, really nice bundles available online. And then, of course, this one's so cute, Pet Love Bundle. This is the bundle that we're going to use the original shaker card with. And this bundle is $33.25. You save 10% when you get the bundle. And I did get that bundle, the sign bundle. I played with that one. And then you have all the different, instead of buying them as a bundle, you could buy just the stamps or just the die cuts, up to you. And then this last page was very cool. In fact, I'm going to talk to you about this in just a minute too. It's got some, excuse me, different things that you can get, like different standalone stamps, scrapbooking workshop kit. There's an Etched Autumn Cling stamp set. It's a big one. And then Winter Scenes. That's really cool. Gold shaker stars, which we're going to use tonight in our shaker card, the first one, and the shaker tree domes. Now, also, some people may have missed this. This is the All Season Velvet Specialty Paper. Now, that one, I want to talk to you about that for just a minute. but share with you, it's got the red, it's got the shaded spruce and the white, and it's velvet. You get 2 of each one, and it's super, super soft. And I don't know if you knew this, but you can stamp and die cut out the velvet, which is really nice. Sometimes when you get a card that's got velvet like that, it's just nice and soft. If I had some small critter stamps, which I don't this time around, but that would be really fun to use, right? You can stamp on it and die cut it out. So just wanted to share that little tidbit with you. I stamped on this one. It's hard to see, and I went ahead and die cut it out. But those are really nice little things I just wanted to share. So let's go ahead and let's make this beautiful card. This one is, like I said, it's part of the online exclusive. It was one of their samples, and I decided to turn their sample into a shaker card. And there's lots of different things to be aware of this one as we're putting it together, that is. Also, before we get too far along here, the paper, I wanted to share that paper with you. And so the paper in this suite, it's the Elegant Pine Snowflakes. And I kind of just discovered that there are dies, there's a lot of dies in this one. Let's see, there are exactly 22 dies. And I've got some of the dies over here on the side. But it's wonderful when you discover that some of the dies will die cut out some of the images in the designer series paper. Now, some of these also will die cut out the stamp sets. And when you're all done with the paper and you've used it up, you still have your stamp set that you can use. So you can make your own DSP using your stamps and paper and everything. So really cool how all of that just goes together. And it's all double-sided, so if you don't like one side, you're bound to love the other. And some of these, like I said, I wasn't real sure about, but I kind of like the background for some of these. And then, of course, this one we're using on the 3D tonight. This must be some notes I took from before. I take notes and help remind me later when I'm playing with something what to do. Let's go ahead and get everything out. And the other shaker card we're going to do is this one. So this is the one with the tree dome, and this is the one that we've done before. And this one's easy. There's just a couple of steps, right? So all of these are Athena original designs, so except for I copied and turned that one into a shaker. And I'm pretty certain I wrote down the instructions, so hopefully they are here. I say that, now I can't find them. Okay. All right. So we've got different sizes ribbon. What did I do with those instructions? Oh, here we go. Here it is. So the ribbon. We've got this beautiful ribbon, and it is called Shaded Spruce Gold Edged Ribbon. There's approximately 10 yards, part of this suite. You're going to need a 6-inch, which is short, a 6-inch, an 8-inch, which is a little bit longer, and then to tie and make the bow, you're going to need approximately 19 inches, okay? And I did some stamping and die cutting ahead of time because there's a lot to the card, and I wanted to make sure we had plenty of time to get these all put together. And I've just started exploring with this suite, so I imagine there'll be plenty of other fun cards that I will share with you in the coming weeks. I think, though, next week it's the 2nd of October, and I will probably be putting together the paper pumpkin kit for September and the alternatives. It's fall, so I'll take a little break from Christmas next week and do some fall, but then right after that, we're just going to get right into some more beautiful Christmas cards. Fun techniques, just a bunch of fun stuff. Like I said, as soon as I learn something, I like to share it with all of you. Now, I do have these clear bags that really help put, different things in. This is our card base, which is, let's see, where's that? Fold and burnish it. It's in Shaded Spruce. And that's our card base. And the card base, we're just going to set it to the side because we're going to do some stamping. And then while everything dries, we will put together the shaker part, the shaker element. So we're going to stamp Celebrate the Season. And we're going to stamp Warmest Winter Wishes and the cute pine cones, which are Warmest Winter Wishes, Celebrate the Season. The cute little pine cone there for the inside. Let's see, let me get our Real Red. I think I said this last week. I've been using Real Red a lot. I've had this one for a while and I probably need to re-ink it, but that's okay. Oh, and I did die cut. I don't know if you can tell the difference. Like, that's the paper, and this one is that specialty velvet paper. It's really, really pretty. Love it. Okay, Celebrate the Season in Real Red. Any minute, my puppy's probably going to start barking at us. Okay. I'm going to just kind of go for the center. Apply even pressure. Give it a couple of seconds so the ink can soak into the paper there. And then I'll put this one up for just a minute. Then the inside, Warmest Winter Wishes with Shaded Spruce. Right in the middle. And then we'll come in with our pecan pie for our little pine cone. I really should clean my desk off before I go live, but all right. Just make sure you apply even pressure. That is so cute. I love the pine cone in this one. It's absolutely adorable. All right, so this is going to be for the inside, so I'm going to set it aside, let it dry. See, I told you puppy would do that. Sorry. This is normally when we get back from walking, but the time change, or not time change, but the losing daylight quicker, yikes, makes it difficult to plan. So I'm basically, this piece right here, it's the leftover piece when you get your 8.5 by 11 and you want to trim it down for the inside so that this is 4 by 5 1/4. The leftover pieces, it's the perfect size for this sentiment. So hopefully that makes sense when you trim down your paper. So after stamping it, I just want to give it a little curve because that's what it looked like for the online sample. And as I put this one together, I learned a couple of things, so I'm going to share that with you as well. And then sometimes I will, like I said, I've stamped ahead of time and die cut. And when I did that, I wanted to show you that I use the little glue dots for these tiny pieces, and that way I don't lose them. Because you can see I've got a little accumulation over here because, like I said, I've been kind of playing around with the products together. And so those are all ready to go to put on here. So I guess we should go ahead and do the fun part, which is the shaker. And then we can put everything together. It's all fun, but I mean, let's put this over here. All right, so I looked to see, and we have, I think, 3 or 4 different shaker element possibilities with the catalog and the online exclusives. We've got the Gold Shaker Stars, which is part of the online exclusives. The Loose Shaker Elements is in the catalog. And then there's another one, and I couldn't find it. So we're just going to use these 2, just to give it some flair, if you will. And so this is that gorgeous paper. You could use both sides. And I'm going to use a clear envelope, and here's the sticky part. And the sticky part is going to fold, and that's going to be the back. So I'm going to turn it this direction. And I'm going to put my designer paper, which is 5 1/4 by 4. Remember, this is the sticky part. And I'm going to put it as close to the bottom left as possible before I do anything. Okay, it's pretty close. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open one at a time. And I've got my middle finger inside. I'm going to take 2 pinches and then drop it on the top of the designer paper on the inside of this envelope. And then I'm going to shut the lid so I don't accidentally spill it everywhere. And then this one I'm going to open up. Same thing, 2 pinches for the inside. Close up the lid. Years ago I didn't, and oh, what a pretty shiny mess it was. I had to actually step out of the room and cool off and come back when that happened. But yeah, things will happen, so just be careful. All right, I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to take off for the sticky right there. And I'm going to bring it as tight as possible. And this leftover, we're going to flip it over and just Scotch tape it so it's out of the way. Who is it, Spot? My sweet little stamping companion and guard puppy. He's 11. My sweet puppy dog. He's my fur baby. All right, so now you have all your shaker elements on the inside. Yay, that's the easiest way to do a shaker card, right? That's the easiest in my opinion. I can't remember when I first learned to do that years ago, and I was like almost every other card I was making was shaker because so fun. So now we get to put this together. So we're going to do everything to it before we adhere it to our card base. Okay. And one of the things that we're going to do is the ribbon. Okay. So we're going to start with the shortest ribbon, which I believe I said was 6 inches. The 6 inches, and then we'll do the 8 inches. And it's going to basically go just like that. It's about 1 inch. And I'm just going to give it a little adhesive. And there we go. Just like that. And now we're going to get the 8 inch. And it's going to go down the middle. Looks just like a present, doesn't it? It's so pretty. It's approximately the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Same thing. We're just going to adhere that down. So next we're going to put all these fun things, and then we'll do the bow for a couple of reasons. You'll see. I like to do the easy first. All right, so we want to put this one down. Oops. Again, just a little adhesive. Just like that. And then this one, it's going to go just like that. And this is the perfect little circle there for a glue dot. The rest of this is an intricate part of the die. And that's the best way for that to hold down. Then we're going to go ahead and a little adhesive there. Make sure everything is going to be on the inside so that it fits in your envelope. So you don't want things hanging off to the side too far, right? And then we're going to have, I think we're going to wait on that one and that one just because we're going to get the bow next. Now, I do have a little extra bow, and we're going to have plenty to cut off. It's just when I go to make a bow, I want to have plenty of room, wiggle room to work with it. And so that's why it's a lot, like 18 inches, I think I said. And again, I don't know if it's iPhone update, but I'm not seeing any comments. So if you're making comments, I will definitely go back and answer questions and respond to comments. And so this is gorgeous ribbon, and I want to have a beautiful bow, so I have plenty of room to work with. And you just keep pulling and tightening and pulling until you get the bow that you like. And that's kind of what I do here. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead and use the glue dot. That's really easy. Ooh. And it's going to hold down right there. Now, this one, admittedly, it's going to be a little, probably too thick to put in the regular envelope. So just keep that in mind. Pretty much any shaker card is going to be like that. And then you just want to use your ribbon-only scissors and trim it. Again, you want everything to fit inside the envelope. Okay. And so now we can add the other pieces on. You want to be able to see that. Add a little adhesive. And now we can add our cute little pine cones. I think they, on the online exclusive sample, they stamped on the color, on color. I just wanted you to be able to see the pine cones. So I did 2 on the white and then that one. And so now we can go ahead and put together our card base. There we go. Oops, I gotta be careful, get on my fingers and then it gets everywhere. There's some Goo Gone that will help get rid of that sticky too, by the way. With this one, it's super strong adhesive, so I don't need a lot. And then before you put your cover on, you want to just make sure it's going to open, and this is the direction it needs to go. I think we've all accidentally, at one point or another, put it upside down. Okay. And so now we have our finished card, And then we've got these gorgeous embellishments that we want to make sure we put on there. Isn't that fun? Oh, that is fun. Okay. All right, let's go with this beautiful red right there. And then let's go with the beautiful silver diamond looking one right there. We'll put one smaller one right over here. And then let's go for the green. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I put more than 4? And I guess the ribbon is 5. I can't remember. Anyway, gorgeous. Oh, and so easy to make. And you could use any of your beautiful designer papers and do the same. Got some shakers. So that's the shaker card number 1. Now let's go ahead and do shaker card number 2. Okay, I'm gonna set that off to the side. Now for this one, I'd seen some samples online using this particular fold, super easy, using a little bit of designer paper. And then this idea to make this shaker using this was totally my idea. An Athena original. So the card base for this one is 7.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 7.5 and 3 1/4. The white on the inside, this piece right here, is 5.5 by 3 1/8. And then we have this strip of designer paper that is 5.5 by 1. Now the designer paper on the front is 5 3/8 by 3 1/8. And then one of my favorite sweets, I don't know if you'll remember, I started playing with it for quite a while, and it had this die cut piece in it. Well, we're using 1 die cut piece, and we've got 2 that we're gonna utilize from that one. So that's where I got that. So there's that if you want to do a quick screenshot. Really easy to put together. And sending Christmas wishes. This is the pine tree trimmings. And those fun Christmas tree domes that are part of the online. I was so excited to see that one. So much fun. Okay. All right, so this one has steps, right? And I'm going to go step by step. And here's my rugged handwriting. Probably hard to read, but this is the shaker card. So the first thing that we're going to do, I don't know if you're going to want to screenshot that or not, or maybe just take notes. In case you want to screenshot. Maybe you can read my notes. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to set it off to the side here, but I'm going to refer to it often just because I want to make sure I'm explaining the steps step by step. It's about 8 steps approximately. So if you wanted to, like I said, if you wanted to take notes or something like that, there's our little dome. And so this dome has adhesive on this bottom side and on the top side, okay? And we're actually going to bring the little bitty mini die cut machine on the table here, and it might move the screen a minute when I do that. Just be aware. We've got our paper for the tree. We've got our little piece here. We're going to do stamping and die cutting, and then we're going to put it together, okay? Because trust me, this is easy and fun, but you want to do each step, okay? These are going to go on the inside. I'm going to set that aside just for a moment. So first, you're going to place your tree die, which is under here somewhere. Uh-oh, what did I do with it? It was here a minute ago. Oh dear. What did I do with it? Huh. Now that's a problem. Over here. Over here. Ah, I had it on my magnetic piece on the left side. Okay, there we go. Back in business. Okay. So place the tree die in the middle of this piece of designer paper. So whatever you decided your shaker tree is gonna be in, whatever side you decide, you're gonna get your tree and you're gonna put it where you want it. And then we're gonna use some washi tape to hold it in place. And we're gonna run it through the die cut machine. And we're also going to stamp. Maybe we should do our stamping next. We're going to stamp Oh Christmas Tree, and we're going to stamp the tree, which this one, you've got three choices for the tree. You could do the stars, which would look really pretty with the star shaker elements. I did this one once before, and then this is the one I've done that I think I'm going to do again this evening. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that one because we're going to die cut it out as well. We're going to use shaded spruce. And it's going to be this pine looking. Really, really pretty. All right. Ooh, hopefully that didn't mess up. Perfect. Yay. Okay. And then Oh Christmas Tree is going to be in real red. Oh Christmas Tree. Those are going to be die cut here in just a minute. And then this one's the inside. Sending Christmas Wishes. Again, all from the pine tree trimmings. All right. Oh Christmas Tree. Just find that sweet spot. There we go. And then photopolymer, if you wanted to curve it, you certainly can do that with photopolymer. Let's see. And then our white for the inside, we're going to stamp Sending Christmas Wishes. Right there in the middle. And I believe that's all the stamping we're going to need right now. All right. We're next going to bring in that die cut machine, and we are going to die cut our two pieces out. And I love this little die cut machine. It is a workhorse. I use it for a lot of things. There's only a few things that are really, really big that you can't use it for, but it is great. And so we've got our designer paper. We've got where we want our shaker element to be. So we're going to go ahead and run this one through. I don't know why my overhead light always leaves a shadow like that. Okay. And so now you've got this really pretty tree that can be used later. It could be on another shaker later. Isn't that pretty? All right. So now we're going to run through our tree that we stamped. This is going to be the inside. I could always use my washi tape, which I think I probably should do, because it tends to want to move. I need to replace that plate again. Like I said, I use this one a lot. Okay. That's going to help keep it in place. Okay. And then what I like to do, the newer plate, like this one will become the bottom plate eventually. As it starts to bow, I will turn it. And you can see I use both sides very well. And I don't know if it's just me, but I tend to like to keep the plates in the middle. I don't know if it's just psychological, but it seems like it holds it flatter for me. All right. You got this. You could always use this with your blends if you wanted to, you know, put something on an envelope. All right, so it's not perfect, but like I told my stampers at the workshop Saturday, it's going to be covered. It's fine. Okay, so now let's continue putting this together with the steps. All right. Place the designer paper. Okay, place your designer paper onto your card front. So it's going to be the card front. And then the one that you've stamped and die cut is going to fit right like that. And so this is good if you have a finger. You just put one finger there and hold it in place. Lift this off. Holding down one side, you're going to lift it up and add a little bit of adhesive. Now this part, you don't need a whole lot of adhesive. It's just going to stay in place. Okay? Now while your card front is flat, we're going to add 2 to 3 pinches of our shaker elements, which for this card, we're using the gold shaker stars. And you want this flat because otherwise it'll bow up, because you can see how that's moving. All right, and just do your best to keep it in the middle. 2 to 3. And it's okay if some, you know, get out a little bit. And before we have a mess, let's go ahead and put that lid on. 2 to 3. Your Take Your Pick tool is a crafter's must because it's got that gummy on the one side and it'll help pick up and move things around for you. All right, so next, while it's flat, the dome is going to be on top and it's going to go down like that. So what you need to do is use your Take Your Pick. I think this is step number 7 or something. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then just apply a little bit of pressure. All right. So next, we're going to go ahead. I think this is step number 8. You take off the top of the adhesive. Then you bring in the designer paper to go right on top. And you just flip it over to see if there's any extra, because sometimes it will move a little bit, and that's fine. And so now you're going to add some adhesive to the rest of the card to hold it all in place. That's how easy that is, right? All right, so next, we're going to add here our Oh Christmas Tree to the bottom. Which is really fun. Then we'll go ahead and adhere the little strip flush, top to bottom, all the way to the far right. Hold it down, lift up the flap, add our adhesive. then we're ready to add the inside. So again, a really fun and easy shaker card, kind of the old-fashioned way, because like I said, it's been a long time since I've done the original shaker like this. And so now we are ready to put the beautiful embellishments on. And I want to use for this one, since we're using real red for the Oh Christmas Tree, we're going to use that beautiful red. It says snowflake, but it looks like a star to me. And we're just going to put that right at the top there. And then one of my other favorite embellishments, I'm getting low, traditional sparkling sequins. We're going to do a small red right down here, kind of cover up where that little tear is. And then the medium-sized one, just kind of round off right there. And then we're going to put a big one on the inside. Sending Christmas wishes. And then again, this is another one of those that it's either going to take extra postage, a special, probably if you're going to mail that is if you're going to mail it, maybe even bubble wrap container. So it'll be a little expensive, $2 to $4 for that one. So again, I'm going to do a quick screenshot. Shaker card number 2. So fun. And so then our last project for this evening is this 3D item. And this one, believe it or not, is super, super easy. And of course, the arch dies are absolutely my favorite. It was a really great investment. And I think, I didn't look before we went live, but I think they might be temporarily unavailable. I say that because, you know, there's a date for them to come back in. Everyday Arches dies. There's 10 of them. And that's the number, 164629. It's worth the wait, believe me. So we're using these two. So it's the second and third largest die. For the designer paper, it's the third largest. And then for the outside die in shaded spruce, it's the second largest. Oops. And then this one is the littlest one that we're using. And I did, oops, goodness. I did do all the die cutting ahead of time. Save a little bit of time. I try to keep it about an hour. I don't always quite make it, but I try. Hold on just a second. I actually have a project that is using Everyday Arches that I'm working on in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to use A Child is Born with that one. So, like I said, I've got tons of ideas. I don't always have enough time to play with everything, but I do what I can, and of course I share it all with you. So there's that beautiful paper again. Absolutely love this. And then we'll stamp and adhere that. This was part of the designer paper as well that I die cut out. Excuse me. And so we've got this right here. It's super easy, right? I'm not sure what that was. I think it was just explaining what I did there. So here is the template. Let's see if I can cover that up. There we go. Basically, we're going to put tear and tape all the way across, kind of. Believe it or not, this is going to be the inside. Box Arches side. 9 by 2.5. On the 9-inch side, you're going to score it at 3 and 6. On the 2.5-inch side, you're going to score it 1/2 inch on both sides. And then it's going to go just like that. And then we'll adhere the arches. Okay? So there's my template. You know me and my templates. I gotta have a guide. So basically the inside, we're going to cut up to that score line, the first score line that is. And then just a tiny little, oh, what do we call that? I forgot. Get a little slit right there. It'll just help it to close is all. Okay. Move that out of the way. And then I can't remember, this was one of those that I just keep on my desk for all the little pieces. Oh, and the one thing I forgot to mention, we do want to do all of the folds. Makes it a little bit easier. And so, yes, tear and tape. What did I do with my tear and tape? Let's see, it's just right here. There we go. All right. Tear and tape is a great adhesive. And it's going to be on each side like that. And in the middle. Just apply nice pressure, make sure it's on there really nice and tight. Okay. This one comes together really, really quick. Okay. Before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and adhere these two together. Like I said, I've already die cut ahead of time. I have so many more ideas with this one. I'm just excited. There's one idea that I haven't shared yet, and I haven't seen anybody else share it, so I'm really hoping in a couple of weeks I'll have it finalized, and you never know. I'm just super inspired by this, by the dies. Okay. And I love how these just layer so smoothly. You don't need a lot when you're using the Stampin' Seal Plus. It's super sticky. All right. That one's die cut. Warmest Winter Wishes. We're going to go ahead and stamp that one so it will be nice and dry when we play with it later. That's one thing I learned the hard way years ago. I would stamp and then immediately get ink everywhere because it hadn't dried yet. Warmest Winter Wishes. Beautiful. Okay. It's dark outside and my window is showing. Oh boy. All right. So it's just going to fold in just like that. Okay. So that means we want to undo the middle ones first. Super sticky. Ooh, that one almost messed up. And it did. Let me just give it a glue dot for a moment. That's okay though, because I'm sure others have made the similar oops kind of thing. And, you know, I always like to tell people there's always fixes. In fact, we're gonna go ahead. Oh, that glue dot is being persnickety. There we go. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and take one side off. This will probably be the back side, just depends, whichever one looks better. And then it's important that you stand it up. There it is. And I'm going to use my bone folder just to give it that extra burnish. Just like that. Then the same thing, we're going to go ahead and take this one off. Oops, there we go. And again, you want to make sure it's standing up. Because otherwise, it won't be table sturdy. There we go. Easy, right? I've seen other projects where they've somehow, I guess they've put their candy or whatever in there and then put a hole and a ribbon. I mean, you can certainly put a ribbon in there if you want, but this one I thought was really cool because it will fit your tissue and your cute little hand sanitizer, which I think these recently were on sale, $1 each or something at the Bath and Body store. But anyway, or you could do a couple of different, like a little lotion you could put in there, some chapstick, you know, sometimes you get cold, you need your lips to get dry sometimes. All right, so next we're going to use dimensionals. Just need one dimensional in the middle. This is so cool. And I want to use dimensionals on this one as well. Just kind of pops it up. It looks really good. And I only decorated the one side because, you know, and just kind of give it a, and of course we want to put our embellishment on there, this really pretty red. I guess it's just two sizes, small or large. Let's go with the large, right in the middle. So pretty, right? Now, of course, there's plenty of room to put your little treats, right? So your little Debbie treats, right? You've got, put a couple of those in there. It'll hold lots of candy. It'll hold some Tic Tacs and a bunch of other things. Got some of these little cookies that you can get. I mean, sky's the limit. It's big enough to hold quite a lot. And I don't have any like little soup packages, but I bet you could put some soup in there. Some hot cocoa maybe. Ooh, that's an idea, hot cocoa. So we've got that. And our 2 shakers tonight. Here's the other shaker. Off to the side and they started to stick together, so let me unstick it here for a second. There we go. All right, our 2 shaker cards, so fun, and our 3D item. So next week will be the September paper pumpkin, and then the week after that will be some more Christmas. I'm working on like a tea light votive. I'm working on some new fun folds, some new little giftable things, just all kinds of fun. Like I said, as soon as I learn something, I can't wait to share it with all of you, and that's kind of what I did here tonight. So thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you again next week. Happy stamping!